Hello and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the YouTube channel and welcome to What We Learned from Tottenham 4, West Ham United 1. Sorry, you can hear my microphone now. I forgot to put it on my mic on the settings, but nevertheless, thank you guys for the support as of recently. Make sure to like the video and make sure to subscribe if you are new. We're trying to hit 1K as soon as possible. And at GVO Mikes if you want to follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. But yeah, obviously we've dropped the player ratings, we've dropped the live. Let's do the what we learned. We've learned nothing new. And what we've learned as well is that West Ham, on the back of another international break, from the very first game of the international break, cannot just switch on and carry on from where they left off. However, literally every other team can. Now, this isn't an excuse. I'm actually criticizing my club for this. I'm not using international breaks as an excuse because I never will. Because everyone has players traveling. I even said that in a couple of previews I was on. This is the problem with us. We never seem to switch on when we need to, or when we need to start a game properly. Even when we went 1-0 up, Tottenham had most of the ball. Tottenham were the one creating chances. It was against the run of play. Because the only other chance we had was the one from Kudus. That goal was basically coming. In hindsight, you can say that because that play pretty much happened. Kudus had a shot, it went straight into Vicario. So if you can hear noise in the background, that's my stupid neighbours. But that was coming. That was coming. And it was a good goal. And it was poor defending from a doggy and, everyone at the back post for them. And to be honest with you, I thought they defended really well. But the first thing that we've learned is the international break. Why do we never switch on? Why do we never switch on from the first game of the international break? All this talk, and I know that the players have to talk. I know they have to talk, and I know the manager has to talk. But all this talk about, we know what the derby means, and we know what this game means. We know we got to turn up. We told all the foreign players what it means. I can't deny the fact that all the players tried to fight. In terms of they tried to fight. They put everything on the line. I can actually say that. I think the manager's holding them back. I don't think we got to see the extra special abilities that we actually get to see from these current crop of players because the manager's holding them back. We got to see moments from these players because guess what? When you have bad coaching, but the players are still good enough anyway, you're going to get moments from your players. And that's pretty much what's happened. That's pretty much what's happened throughout the time he's been here. That's why we beat Ipswich, because it was an opponent that was actually worse than us. That's why we beat Palace, because at this current moment, they are worse than us, believe it or not. They still haven't won a game yet. And I was looking at the next four fixtures. Well, I wasn't looking. I was on a stream with Big Up to Omar. And our next four fixtures, I'm pretty sure, are Man United at home, Nottingham Forest away, Everton at home, and Newcastle away. Everton at home, Everton are a bogey team. When I mean records don't matter at West Ham, this is what I mean. If you are our bogey team, we won't beat you. Or rarely we won't beat you. I know we've had an okay record against Everton over the recent years. It's still not that good. That's why we haven't beaten Newcastle since Steve Bruce was there, and stuff like that. And we've had teams that we've been bogey teams for. Like when Chelsea come to our ground, that's their bogey ground, and they won. Aston Villa didn't beat us in a very long time before Unai Emery was there, and they won against both managers of Moyes and Lopetegui. And Fulham had beaten us in a while, and they also get results against Moyes and Lopetegui. Cool, Lopetegui drew against Fulham. We shouldn't have even drawn that game. And also, people were celebrating a draw just because we scored in the last minute of the fact that we got battered last year. And people were genuinely trying to justify that lineup and playing Souček in the 10, Rodriguez and Alvarez. What I've discovered and what I've learned is, the second thing I've learned is the fan base online anyway, and this is just online, you can't really judge anyone online unless you're an Arsenal fan because they're the exact same online in real life, that the mentality is poor. Go and look at my tweets here. I criticize both managers, the manager last season and the manager this season. The excuses that I'm seeing for both managers are genuinely insane. When I posted the whole games where we got battered by David Moyes last season, the problem was people were using AFCON as an excuse. People were saying, but he gave up as an excuse. This is why I don't argue with people online. This is why I leave it. I diffuse their arguments, and then when they reply again with something even more fucking stupid, I leave it. With when it comes to Moyes and Lopetegui, I'm not getting into that debate. I'm not going to get into that debate. I'm not going to drive into that. And I don't. And for anyone that's watching this, that's another creator, like, and they might be watching this. I don't know who's watching, and they want me to come on their channel, but they're going to talk about David Moyes. Don't invite me on, please. Don't invite me on. I'm not. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. I don't care. And listen, nobody. Probably no creators watching this, but just in case, because I ain't trying to have this ongoing debate that we had last season, like straggling into this season. I've never seen neutrals so obsessed with another club's previous manager. I've never seen that before. And these are all from people that don't watch West Ham. So your arguments are kind of void anyway. So that's it from that. This is the other thing from the game itself. What is the plan? Like when you watch West Ham, yeah, like cool, it's October. We're not expecting, and I was never expecting this, I was not expecting the full game plan to come through or the full style of play to be at its complete fruition at 100% 2 months in. I wasn't expecting that. But I've gone on before about coaching. When you watch West Ham, you're still meant to have a plan coming up against in any game. What was the plan today? Well, not even today, yesterday. What was the plan? I would love to know because we defended quite well. We defended quite well for the most part up until they scored. Paquetá again giving the ball away, then Souček ducking it. I actually don't really blame Souček for much of that because I don't think he's expecting Paquetá to just go ahead and win the foul. Paquetá needs to stop doing that. I think we can all agree that Paquetá needs to stop trying to win the foul all the time. It's genuinely getting annoying, and sometimes it can cost us, just like it did. I can criticize the players still, but I can only criticize you to an extent when, if especially if I know that you're already good enough and you've shown good moments at the club already. And again, in moments, this is moments because we were playing in moments last season when people were talking about the Paquetá, Bowen, Kudus front three was working. No, it wasn't. We were scoring in moments. We weren't playing to their strengths anyway. So the front three wasn't working. And people were begging for Antonio to come back. And when Antonio did come back, we had an outlet. But then again, you can't keep relying on Mikel Antonio to drag you out of trouble all the time, which is what we've been doing for the past 10 years. Always, Mikel Antonio, can you save us, please? Going on to Mikel Antonio, like, I think he's good enough to be a squad player. I think he's good for against the lower league opponents. I don't think he's made to come up against these big centre backs, fast centre backs anymore, just because he doesn't have the pace anymore. And it's not fair on him to be putting all the workload on him. It's not. It's not fair because the guy's been doing it for years. You can't keep relying on the same person to keep getting you out of trouble all the time. I feel sorry for people like Jared Bowen who signed a new deal. Was it last season? Last season, and also had been given a captain's armband, which I don't think he should have got. But I was like, cool, we'll get behind it. And trying to drag this team out of trouble as well. It feels like we're now turning to him to drag us out of trouble. I'm looking at it now. If I'm Jared Bowen, even though I have a big emotional connection to this club, I'm looking at it, why did I sign that new contract? Why? I could have gone to Liverpool. I could have gone to a bigger club. I'm looking at it from the players' perspectives now. I'm looking at Wan-Bissaka and Max Kilman and Tadibo, 3 new players that have come in and done well when they've played. They must be thinking, what the fuck have I just joined? And listen, players are human. They're going to think this. Whether you think they're professional off camera or not, they're going to think this. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are thinking this from their perspective. I'm sure Antonio's thinking, I'm too old for this shit, man. I'm too old for this shit. That's what I think Antonio's thinking. Paquetá's, I don't know, he's probably just the samba music's constantly playing in his head all the time. That's how he plays. Like he plays like they're constantly like samba music's playing in his head all the time. He plays like he's got AirPods in. With Mohamed Kudus, he's probably thinking, yeah, I need to leave. I'm going to call my agent. I'm going to be like, listen, I will stick the rest of the season out with this club, but you got to make sure that club is going to pay for my 85 million release clause. And listen, I'd take 85 million from Mohamed Kudus. I don't think he's worth. I think he's worth it as well. Special player, but it's sad because we're going to see this player misused under two different managers, one of the most special natural footballers I've seen at this club in my lifetime, and he's going to be wasted, and we're going to sell him. We never get the best out of the great players that we have, and we never will because we're not serious. Now, I like the director of football, Tim Steidten, but if you got any power and any ruthlessness behind you, you sack this man. Take the L and sack him. Sack him. And then hire a manager that's actually going to get the best out of these players because this manager's a disgrace. This manager's an absolute disgrace. There's no identity. There's no excuse. Stop defending someone after you just lost 4-1. You just lost 4-1 to Tottenham. And the first thing you want to do is give him time. Time for what? What are you seeing on the pitch? What are you seeing on the pitch for you to give time? What are you seeing? I'm seeing us get ripped apart every game. Pretty much every game. Even Ipswich had a period of spell where they could have scored. They just don't have the final third quality. We're coming up against Man United. Anything can happen. We might beat them. They might beat us. It's meant to be El Sakiko, but they've kept it. Like Ten Hag's pretty much kept his job for another month after winning that game. If he loses against us, it's not going to sack him. They're not going to sack him because they won a game. It diffuses the everything for another month. That's how these owners work. If we win, it delays the inevitable for us. I'm just saying, like, if we lose, we don't know if this manager's going to get sacked. If we win, it delays the inevitable. He should be the first manager gone, even before Russell Martin. If we're comparing the expectation to how the team has started, he should be the first manager gone. Before Gary O'Neill, before Eric Ten Hag, before Russell Martin, he should be gone before all three of them. Before Glasner. Even Glasner's under pressure. Even Everton are winning games. Bournemouth are winning games. I'm pretty sure Everton are above us. I could be wrong. I don't know. But they're around us. This is an Everton team that are going through turmoil constantly. They just got their new owners. There's not really much positivity coming out of Everton. Nottingham Forest and Fulham are way above us. Like, I didn't expect anything this season. I just wanted you to get an identity in. What is the identity of your team? And then we'll go from there and finish respectable in the top 10 finish, which isn't my standard, by the way. I'm just saying, first season, I get it. Loads of new players and stuff like that. But when the second season hits, I was like, I'll be demanding Europe. Why she need to go? But this manager's a pagan. He's a pagan. We got obliterated yesterday. Blamed. Molested. Fingered. All the words you want to use that happened to us, diddied. We got done out. Like, we are absolutely fucking finished if you keep this manager. But yeah, that's what I've learned from the game, really. And the problem is that the centre backs were so isolated as well. Like when we got caught in transition for the goals, when Wan-Bissaka and Emerson were pretty much escaping the back four, told to go forward. We were then so compact, so defensive, and then for some reason we just end up going so attacking. It's like on the old school FIFAs where you go from ultra defensive to ultra attacking. That is the best way I could explain it. From park the bus to all out attack. The old school FIFAs. Just using the D-pad just to send your team up there. And then your team just gets opened up once you're chasing it. It's the erraticness of the substitutions as well. The erraticness of the substitutions. We used to complain with the previous manager on the opposite. We used to wait until the 85th minute to make subs. With this manager, he waits until we're actually in desperate need to make subs. And then he makes 3 of them. And then there's no time to settle in. Even though, if he's being so-called ruthless with these substitutions, he should bench these players that he's so-called substitution for the next game. But he doesn't do that. We saw that with the Fulham and Chelsea games. We saw this. The games don't get any easier in the Premier League. So anyone that's talking about, but it's a tough start, give it a fucking rest. Because the Premier League is tough. There's not a lot of quality in it, but there's a tough game every game. You have to win eventually. You can't keep using this thing of but the team is better than us. So who are we meant to beat then? This is the exact argument I was having with the Moyes lot last season. Now I'm arguing it with the Lopetegui lot, who ironically were on my side last season because they wanted Moyes out as well. You guys have become truly hypocrites. You guys have become hypocrites. All the people that were complaining about the same thing Moyes was doing last season are happy with what Lopetegui's doing this season, and we're 2 months in, cool. But giving them time doesn't do anything when you can't see anything that's going on. That's why I'm keeping the same energy. And people are gonna be like, but Moyes was given 4 years, you've given this guy 2 months. Dare I even say, I knew what Moyes was trying to do when he first came in. And he didn't have a preseason. When he came into January 2020 or December 2019, his first game was Bournemouth, so it was January. I knew what he was trying to do. I knew what he was trying to do. With coaches that know their principles and know their identity, you know what they're trying to do. It's just the difference is it fizzled out. I don't want Moyes back. I'm just giving you an example. I didn't even want Moyes to come back. I was wrong about that. I'm not going to be wrong about this one, unfortunately. I want to be wrong because I'm a fan of my club. I just want to win games. In fact, I'm the one that wants to win more than anyone else. I'm the one demanding cup runs. I'm the one saying that a draw against Brentford and Fulham isn't good enough. So no one can call me negative because I'm demanding the most positive things at the club. Make sure to leave a like on the video. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me. The email for the inquiries on the road to 1K subscribers. I'm going to have either reacting to fan cams today from other content creators, or I'm going to have a match reaction to the Super Sunday games. I might even do both. I'll see how I'm feeling, but you'll get one more video from me today. I'll see you guys later.